Really?
Yeah. Good morning, ladies. Good afternoon.
So,
How you doing?
good. So, since it's just the three of us, I thought we were going to have a whole crowd here. So, before
Cheryl's going to listen too. Cheryl's going to listen too.
Good.
Cheryl's going to listen too.
Hi, Cheryl. Wave to the fans,
Hi.
Cheryl. All right.
How are you?
Good. How are you, honey?
That's Chris's walking partner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Saturday morning
Saturday
walking
morning.
partner.
Saturday
Yes,
morning
indeed.
walking. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Before we get started on the Married at First Sight thing, and Chris, let me know if someone else wants to join because I've got my lens or my laptop is expanded, so I'm not going to know if somebody wants to join. Thank you. So seeing that it's just us three, I wanted to start off with
Where's Tracy?
She's working.
She had something she had to do at 2:30, so she would have to exit, so she couldn't do it.
Okay.
So just something I want to just kind of talk about, because recently on TikTok, there has been controversy about dating and where you should go on first dates. And there has been a group of women that put out a whole list on TikTok of where not to take me for a first date. And apparently I am old, or I've set my standards a little low. Because they're like, there's like 28 places, 28 things not to wear, places where women refuse to go on a first date. Number one is Cheesecake Factory. And I'm offended because I really like Cheesecake Factory. Because you can get anything there, even though they got that encyclopedia ass menu, you can find something at Cheesecake. But the others are obviously Applebee's, Chili's, yeah, Chipotle. But now they're talking about bowling.
What's wrong with bowling?
Exactly. Like I'm just thinking about different things. Bowling, coffee dates. I wouldn't mind a coffee date because you're having a cup of coffee and you're having a discussion.
Oh, are these all single? These all single women?
It just says places women refuse to go on a first date.
Yeah,
and it's
I'm
assuming they're single.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're single too because that's why they're single.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Darius. How you doing?
How you doing, Darius?
I'm doing
Looking
good.
like a whole grown ass man.
Yeah, how's your voice all low? Hey.
Like he got bass in his voice. Like you got a job yet?
Yes.
Hey,
I'm making money.
Oh.
Hey, y'all doing over there?
Well, we're talking about places women refuse to go on a first date. So you might want to
say that. He ain't there yet.
I'm just saying. But okay, some of the places, coffee dates.
Yeah, that's why they're single, Tanya. That's why they're single.
Yeah.
Because if you're complaining about
a coffee date,
some people you just want to, and actually it's better for women too, so they don't get stuck in something for an hour and a half. If you don't have chemistry right away, you don't like the person doesn't look the same way as you thought they would look, if it's from an app or something, you can be like, oh, it's a really nice coffee, thank you, 15 minutes, boom, and you're out. As opposed to dinner at a fancy restaurant and you have to stay there for an hour and a half with this person that you don't like.
Right. I mean, some of the stuff was like normal. I mean, like was obvious, like family functions. Like I'm not bringing a first date to around my people.
That's reasonable.
It's not happening.
It's
just not happening. Movies was another one. That's stupid because you're watching a movie and you're not really getting to know the person unless you've had like conversation beforehand, and you've kind of gotten to know the person a little bit, and then you're like, okay, let's go to the movies, and that's fine. But you know, afterwards we might have to have a discussion. I get that. Your house, I get that too. Like I don't know you, therefore I'm not coming to your house.
A first date at your house? That's kind of.
No, I wouldn't let nobody. I'm not going to any strange man's house, and I'm not letting any man come to my house on a first date because I don't need you to know where I live. Just in case you turn into a stage 5 clinger, like I don't need you to know where I live.
But there's also, look, I've told younger, well, I told my nephew and stuff, and younger men, there are free, especially in Los Angeles, there are free things you can do that are great dates. Like you can go to the Broad Museum is free. You just make a reservation. The Getty Museum is free. Just make a reservation. Bring a sandwich and go to the Getty Museum and have a little picnic.
Those ladies will flip their lids if you say bring a sandwich.
Bring a nice sandwich.
Ladies on that list.
For a picnic.
The ladies on that list.
If you're
I would love it.
Oh, I'll take a picnic. Bring a sandwich or not saying that I gotta sit at home and make it. I'll stop off at a store or a deli and pick up a few sandwiches.
Yeah, that's not you. If the guy's asking you out, the guy should be doing all this stuff.
Well, I get
there are places to go that you doesn't have to be standard going to you don't want to go to first day for a dinner is kind of depends how long you've talked to the person beforehand. But if it's just like, oh, let's get to know each other, coffee is fine. Going for a walk in the museum. I don't know, something also for dating wise, it's good to have some place where there's something else going on, some activity that you can comment on. For me, and I know women won't like this or whatever, I think a baseball game is a great place for a date. For like not the first date, but like a third or fourth date, because there's plenty of things to look at. Nothing's going on. You can have plenty of conversation. There's always something in front of you, and you can get to know each other. And it's outside, and it's nice. If it's a nice day, I like a baseball game.
It depends. I get that, and I agree with you. But I'm not. I like sports, but I don't want to go to the arenas. I'd rather just watch it on TV or at a bar somewhere or whatever. I don't know if I would be open to going to like a baseball game or a basketball game or a football game, because for me, I need comfort. And if you ain't getting me good seats, like I ain't trying to be sitting in these generic seats where my knees. I'm a tall woman. I don't need my kneecaps.
When was the last time you went to a stadium?
Oh, listen to me. I'm old. So the last time I went to a stadium was a Boston Celtics game when it was the Boston Garden, okay, Shahida, in 1994. And it was disgusting. And
It's a long time ago.
Oh, it was a long time ago. But I've been to the TD Bank Garden since, because I went and saw Dave Chappelle. And on Monday, I'm going to go see Mariah Carey's Christmas show at the TD Bank Garden. So I already know now that the seating there is so much more better. So, okay, baseball games, you ain't getting me in Fenway Park. Nah, we're not doing that unless you sit me on the green wall or you sit me in some of them luxury seats behind home plate. I
have been on a first date at a Red Sox game and a Bruins game. And now I think like we're going on a first date into a sporting event. You've already kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, you have a general interest. Like, you know what? And I think at that time when I went out to the Bruins game, I was just like, you know what? I've never been to a Bruins game in the Boston Garden. I had actually been to a hockey game, but it was in Canada. And so I was just like, you know, I've never been to a Bruins game. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go. He used to work for Boston College, and then they had like, you know, great seats behind first base or whatever. Great date, had a great time. Didn't do a dinner we weren't really kind of I wasn't meshing. So, had a good time. We talked or whatever. And then the other game I went to was, of course, a Celtics game, but that was like boxed.
Oh, I like that. Ooh, talking in my good ear, boxed. Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up because it's just like the dating game today that's crazy.
But I think it's as crazy as you make it.
That is true.
Yeah, because
so I'm okay with that. But I just literally lay in bed and watch these TikTok videos.
It also depends on the person. Depends on the person. If you're with the right person, it doesn't matter where you are. It really doesn't.
That's true. You're right.
With the right person, you can have fun any place.
And I think those people who are making that list, they're the ones who are like, you know what? I'm going on this date because I want dinner.
Right.
And for somebody else to pay for it. I think that's what that list is about. Just say, I mean, and granted, one time I went on a date and I took Jabril. Because I didn't like the guy. And I was like, look, I'm trying to get. He would not let me get out of it. And I'm like, I don't have a babysitter, and I have my son, so maybe another time or whatever. And he's like, no, bring him. And Jabril talks his ass off. So it was good for me. That was funny as hell. But I think those women are looking for a free meal.
Yeah. I agree with you guys. I just wanted to bring that up.
And look, if someone takes you to a date on the first date that you don't like, then don't go out with them again.
Yeah.
Then don't go out with them. If you have that much of a problem with whoever took you to where they took you and you didn't like it, then don't go out with them again. But if you like the person, it shouldn't really matter where they take you. There are some. It really shouldn't matter, but I understand if you don't want to go to a Chili's or just because men aren't very inventive, with their places.
Yeah.
But if you don't like them, then don't go out with them again.
No, and the only reason I wouldn't say the Cheesecake Factory, I would not want that for a first date. The only reason I would say that is because typically it's super crowded, and in my opinion.
And what?
It's loud.
Yeah, it is. I guess it would depend on where the Cheesecake Factory is located because I will say when I don't go, there's a Cheesecake Factory in Braintree Mall, like right up the street from me. I never go there. I mean, I've been there like once or twice, but I'm not making an effort to go there. When I go to the Cheesecake Factory so much when I'm in California because there's a beautiful one right in Redondo Beach.
Marina Del Rey too has one.
Yeah, it's like there's a beautiful one that's right in Redondo Beach, and it's like overlooking the water. And depending on the time of year, whenever you go, a time of day, it's beautiful. You're just sitting out. You're sitting there at the table and just overlooking the water and all the boats. And it's huge, and it's still kind of a little noisy, but not that noisy. So if I was in Redondo Beach and got asked on a first date to that Cheesecake Factory, I'd be all in. But if it was the Braintree Mall Cheesecake Factory, I'd be like, no, come on now. But I might still go if I like it. If I like it, I'd still go. And hold on. So as I was saying, so Married at First Sight this week was full of drama. I'm gonna let y'all talk about it.
I'm glad that ended. That was too painful for me for her. Too painful.
Agreed.
You don't deserve her. Nope. You don't deserve her. You don't deserve to be on the show. You don't deserve a partner. You don't deserve respect. He's an awful, awful human being. That is under the guise of being a nice, understanding, considerate person. That's a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of bullshit. And I don't swear that often, But that's some fucking bullshit. The way he treated her, and she was still so willing to give it a chance still after all that stuff. Still opening, still keeping herself relatively open and available for him to just slam the door in her face. And she's like, you know what? And also, Dr. Pia, didn't she say something? She said something directly, right?
Go, keep talking.
Oh. Didn't she say something to him directly saying, like, he's awful. I can't anymore. He's just so rude. So rude on his part. And I'm glad he's gone. And I hope she finds someone who's worthy of her. Because she really was working hard. She really gave her all. She did have a connection. And he's like, I don't have any connection to you whatsoever. And also he was confusing to me about when he was like, I have no romantic connection to you. Like, he has no, he just wanted to be out of it. Sorry, go ahead.
I can't hear you. We can't hear you, Shahida. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Go ahead.
My thing is that she let him dictate where the relationship was going and how it ended instead of actually advocating for herself and her feelings, because she didn't acknowledge, in my opinion, I don't think he played with her the entire time with, I really want to work it out. We're going to hit refresh. We're going to leave the honeymoon behind. And then, let me go home. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do this. And to give somebody that type of hope and to think that they have a chance, when I feel like when he was saying those words, he knew that he was not going to do any of that he was going to find a way to crush her. And and it does remind me of the Chris and Paige thing, to a point where is you see these people emotionally set these other people up so that they can stomp on them, so that they can see their reaction and make them cry. He gets off on that. And one thing that someone brought up to my attention, again, Tracy, was that when he said that, of course he came from the society that was, just women and women in his household. But then he said to her father, I don't like being told what to do. The thing with Lauren, and then he played, and I'm surprised that Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal let him get away with stabbing her with that angry Black woman stereotype. I mean, he was going in so hard on her for that, and they let him get away with it. He doesn't like to listen to women. And the more understanding that she tried to be, the more compromising she tried to be, the more he hated her, because he didn't want it anyway. And I think that he's that type of person, like Chris said, he wants to play nice in your face, but is diabolical on the inside. And that's how he treated her. He treated her like a fucking villain. It was horrific. It was horrible to watch.
Listen.
But he's also coming, I'm sorry, but he's also coming off as like, his little prim and proper way he sits. He's almost like, not you're beneath me, but a very, I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just
I get it.
Meaning,
everything. He sits and then he's like, he starts shaking. And then he's like, oh, in his eyes. I
don't know what he wants. What does he want?
Listen to me.
What does he want?
He doesn't want her or anyone.
I don't think he wants anyone.
I don't think so.
He's terrified. I think he's terrified of something. I don't know. Because that woman was giving him a chance, another chance, a third chance, and trying to build something with him, and was so understanding with him, with all his. Anyway.
First of all, the fact that he said he wanted out of the marriage, but he wanted to stay in the process. For what? Like, what are we doing here? Like if you don't want to be in this marriage, then you need to get to gone. Period. End of story. We're not giving you a do-over. We're not doing any of this. You got to go. Secondly, Shahida, you touched upon this. You know, he's not on our level. He's like a petulant little child. And I already knew when she was talking to him when they first went to the honeymoon and she's having conversations with him and he's just like, well, it's like talking to a child. I already knew this was doomed from the start because she's holding his feet to the fire as a Black woman or as an adult woman. Let's take race off the table. But what bothers me the most about the Orion Lauren situation, and I've been saying this, and which infuriated me the most on this latest episode was the fact that Pia, Cal, Rudy Huxtable, and Nicole Haynes on the after party didn't hold this man's feet to the fire. You got 4 prominent Black people on this show. And Orion is stressing about the R word. And no one has said to him, the first thing out of my mouth to Orion would have been like, so she gave you grace when you said the N-word. Like you stated it, like you said it hard twice. She didn't even know what the R word was. She never heard of it. But then she just made a little comment when y'all were in the sauna about his skin being red. I don't understand why nobody has held his feet to the fire and said, look at here. That what you said back in high school, I don't care if you was a teenager in high school. That shit's unacceptable and it's unforgivable. We as a people need to start holding people's feet to the fire. If you said it once, now I'm gonna judge you and I'm gonna hold it against you for the rest of your goddamn natural ass life because that's what they do to us. I'm going to do to them what they do to me. Period. End of story. He should have never been on the after party. I watched the after party because I was on Facebook and on the little blogs of Married at First Sight. And apparently I got wind before the after party aired that he was going to be on it. They should have never allowed him on the after party. Who are you to sit there and talk about other people's relationships when you just legit walked out of yours? Didn't even care. You was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. I already knew when he went home because he lives with his mother in the basement. I already knew when he went home. I texted it to you. He probably told them a false narrative. Oh, she called me the R word. And mommy and sister was like, don't you ever bring that Black bitch to this house. You better divorce her ass immediately. And that's what he did. He was so nervous. He was shaking in his boots. He had to do what his family told him to do and what he wanted to do. She was in it. She was a total wife. She was willing to do the research. Why would you have to do the research, Lauren? I'm not doing no research because I did nothing wrong. I never said the word. But she did all the research and was telling him this, and he still didn't give her no grace. And the fact that all the Black professionals on there did not hold his feet to the fire, I'm disgusted. I'm over it with them too. Next.
Yeah, I was just, it was very disappointing. It was really heartbreaking. I don't have any more to say other than I don't know about the mother and the sister thing though. I kind of get that. I just feel like it's a game for him. It's a diabolical game for him where this is how he treats women, and he plays mind games on them. And you know that guy who tries to play it nice, and I'm like, I want to be attentive and I want to listen, but at the same time kind of like roping people in with their, so you can't, when he does something so messed up, you can't like totally, you're not sure if it's you, because she was holding a lot on herself, and that was another thing that really had me upset. She's like, well, maybe I really was the angry Black person. Maybe I really was losing my temper. Maybe I should have been, a little quieter in my response. So she has taken all of his mental abuse and is questioning herself and her stability in herself. And that's what makes him the freaking villain, and he plays the game extremely well. And I'm disappointed, and I'm hoping that maybe at some point they will address it. But like you said, Tanya, that none of like the Black representation on that show were able to say, look, stop. Because you're mad about her saying redskin, and yet you are consistently bombarding her, with all kind of stereotypes. Because it wasn't just the angry Black woman. You bombarded her with a lot and made her question herself and her sanity as she sat on that couch. Ooh, he's a horrible person.
9 days in. This is what I find problematic with Married at First Sight. 9 days in after marriage, you've got these women that are strong, independent women questioning themselves on TV, national TV, and crying on national TV about, what am I doing so wrong? What's wrong with me? No, I don't like that. I think Married at First Sight United States needs to get on the same page as UK and Australia. Stop with this bullshit. What is it? The casting show. Get rid of it. We already know who's going to be the couples matched up online before the matching show starts. Why waste our time? Go to the fucking bachelor and bachelorette parties immediately, like UK and Australia. And then every week, stop with these Pia, Peppa, and Cal going to individual houses and having these little sessions, therapeutic sessions. Let them all get together as a collective and sit down and have questions like they do for UK. They pull out questions out of a box and they have like discussions, and then have the weekly meeting as a group with the professionals and decide, am I willing to stay in it, or am I walking away? That's what the United States needs. Take a page out of UK and Australia, because frankly, the US version is really wearing thin on me, and it's tired, and I'm over it. I just can't. I'll be invested if they do it the way of UK and Australia.
When is UK coming back?
Huh?
When is UK coming back?
It's on YouTube. It's not on Lifetime anymore. It's on YouTube.
UK
is really? No, it's not UK. The season that we watched was on Lifetime. And for whatever reason, I don't know why they took it off. It's back. Everything's back on YouTube. Australia's always been on YouTube, but Australia and UK is on YouTube. And when I tell you, fantastic. I stand for that. Because you got these people in a group and they're holding each other accountable, as opposed to the US where, oh, you're just going to come to my house or my apartment and sit, one professional is going to sit across from me and my husband and we're going to talk it out. No, you need the whole group. Everybody holds each other accountable, period.
I mean, I think the one-on-one could work, but they have shitty people to start with. But I feel like the option to be every week, the option to stay and leave, that should be on the table, because once somebody does something like, especially what Orion did, and to sit there and watch it and see him just tear somebody down, it shouldn't even. And how they tried to say, like, are you sure you want to end it, Orion? Let him go. Dr. Pia, don't try and talk him into, staying with her. And then it hurt to see her even think that it could be a possibility. It was like, it was just disgusting.
And
disgusting.
On the after party, he had the audacity to sit there with his wedding band on after he supposedly left it on the table with Lauren's wedding band. He had his wedding band on, and then he sits there with Rudy Huxtable and Nicole Haynes from Essence, who's on, remember, she's there with Kevin Frazier. He has the audacity to say, I think I made a mistake, but she doesn't want to talk to me because Keisha was like, have you spoken to her? Have you reached out to her? And he's like, no, but I spoke to Claire. And I asked Claire about her, and Claire, whether she would want to talk to me. And Claire, he's like, Claire didn't say anything. So she doesn't want anything to do with me. But I would love to have, he was like, I think I made a mistake. And I'm like, motherfucker, what?
That's part of the game. That's the game.
And she's off. And here's the thing. My heart bleeds for Lauren because Lauren isn't on social media. She shut it down. She's on TikTok and she shut everything down. She doesn't want nothing to do with this, which leads me to believe that this shit legit affected her. And
her mom just died.
I'm tired of this, where women, strong women, that do well for themselves, get with this one motherfucker for 9 days. And I have to sit here and question myself for him. Fuck that shit.
How strong is she?
Lauren.
How strong?
I need Lauren back. Lauren, they should have matched Lauren with Michael, who got ditched at the altar. Or
we don't know. We don't know him either.
Other than him.
You don't know him either. You don't know him either. But my thing is, how strong are you if you let somebody play with you in your face like that just for 9 days? I get that you want the marriage. I get that you if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be invested. But 1 disrespect is one thing. 2 disrespect is another thing. 3 disrespect, no. Then I think Lauren, although she sounds very mature, although she seems like she has, she definitely has done the work, trying to get herself there, she's not there. And her mother has just died. So she's still in a sense of mourning. So she's probably more vulnerable than even she knows. And seeing her on that couch next to him, you could see that she's much more vulnerable than, she probably really thought she was, because would she have taken that any other time? Because that's not a strong woman, like you said. And you got to go to the days. I'm sorry, 9 days is not enough time for me on national TV.
That part.
I might give you a chance again if I didn't have an audience. But let me tell you, once I feel publicly humiliated, it's done for me. I'm burning up your fucking car. I don't understand how she let that public humiliation just keep going.
Well, the only thing I would say, I agree. The only thing I would say about that is all the stuff it's so intense, and so they are on with each other. We'll get into the Brennan thing in a second, but being so intense with each other so much, and heightened emotions, and everything is heightened. And I think you forget that you're on cameras. I would imagine you forget you're on camera sometimes, and you're looking for resolutions. So the public humiliation. I don't know if she necessarily is aware that it's, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like she's not necessarily aware that you get so, I would imagine you get so caught up in the intensity that you just go with what your feelings are at that moment. And, 9 days, it just seems like such a short time, but that's 9 intense days of being with the person that you want to and are hoping to spend the rest of your life with. So
But it's like day 2 where he starts playing the mental games with you, that giving you the attention that you think you want, or that you really do want, and then pulling it back, giving it, pulling back. And that kind of roller coaster, I as a mature woman, that kind of roller coaster, I don't see me falling for it in 9 days. He would have had to have cultivated that relationship. But no, I get what you're saying, because it's easier to say as I'm sitting here in North Providence.
Well, that's not what I'm saying, that it could be the intensity of it.
Yeah.
Because we've seen some crazy shit within 9 days. We've seen some relationships in this that are like, how is that all happening within a week? Or whatever.
And to think that you can't live without somebody that you just met 9 days ago. She was really like, I'm really in love, I really want this. And yeah, I don't know. But I hope that she's healing. I hope that she's healing, because it was hard. It was hard for me.
Yeah, that was hard
for her.
Listen to me. That was harder. I can't believe that I never thought that I would dislike someone worse than Alyssa and Chris Williams. Not you, Chris Williams. Not my Chris Williams, but that other Chris Williams. I never thought that there would ever be another person. And Zach. Let's go back to Zach and Mindy, because Zach was a motherfucker. I'm just saying, I never thought that there could be somebody that I'd be like, they can't possibly pull anybody.
Mindy was the figure skater.
Now that I pulled out too on this season of Married at First Sight.
How many years ago was Mindy and Zach?
Oh my goodness. That was when we were talking about that.
She's the figure skater, right? And he was the model guy.
Yeah.
The gay model guy. I mean, I'm not the gay one. Well,
was he a model? But I mean, Tanya, what would your ranking be? You would have him as number 1 out of those 5?
No. My number 1 would definitely be Alyssa, because she didn't even give Chris.
She was the worst. Yeah,
she was the worst. She was the absolute worst. And then they continued to let her on there to spew her shit. I didn't like that. And I hope that they've learned their lesson. Well, obviously not, because they had Orion on the after party. So I'm pretty sure that Orion's going to be a consistent fixture.
You think?
Because he did say he didn't want to be married to Lauren, but he still wanted to be in the process. So I
don't understand. That is the process.
That is the process. What process would you be in? The process of divorce?
But it's again, ratings, TV, shit.
Yeah, listen to words.
I'm just saying that I will be highly disappointed if they give Orion the same grace that they gave Alyssa. I didn't want to see Alyssa after she dissed Chris. Time to go. You don't want no part of this? Then get on. Get to go back to your life. Orion needs to do the same damn thing. Don't be on the fucking after party, because you are not in no position to talk about relationships. Number 1, so you are off the after party, and we are not going to watch your progress on the regular Married at First Sight as what you're doing and what's going on in your life right now. Because personally, I don't care. You're not married anymore, technically. So you're not married anymore. You're not with Lauren. You're not with whoever. Be gone. You ain't bringing Michael back. Michael got ditched at the altar. But we don't know what the hell Michael's going through right now.
I think he's over by now. I think he's over it, because he didn't know her. You know,
I get that. But at the end of the day, in good faith, they should have said, do you look, if you want to be in this process, do you want a do-over?
or for Michael,
Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes with like Chris and shit with Alyssa and Paige with Chris. Jesus, Chris's ain't nothing nice. Disgusting. Makes me want to slap your ass. I'm gonna slap you the next time I see you. When I see you come to California, I'm gonna slap you just because your name is Chris. I love you. Anyway, I'm look. I got nothing else.
let's go on.
Let's go on to Brennan and Emily, because I've been wanting to talk about these two. I'll let y'all go. Whoever wants to start.
I feel for her.
Yeah, go. Wow.
Okay, I got my notes. Okay, again, 9 days in, you signed up for Married at First Sight to marry a stranger. And then after the honeymoon, you come back, go to the apartment, and now you want to go home because you're feeling drained. Like, I was with her this whole time.
All the time.
All I'm going to say about Brennan. This is all I'm going to say about Brennan. I thought it the last time we spoke. I thought Brennan is a closeted abuser and he's got some toxicity in there. And I think, here's my prediction. 2 things. I think that Brennan, one of Brennan's exes reached out to him that he wasn't over yet. I might be reaching, but I'm just saying. One of his exes reached out to him that he's not over yet. And now he's like in his feels, like, I don't know. He's done checked out. I don't know what the fuck to do. Or if you watch the after party, did y'all watch the after party or no?
No.
Oh, I did. Because both Emily and Orion, that was the only thing that I took from Orion that he said, and Emily agreed with him, was apparently the last night of the honeymoon, they all, as a collective group, had a tequila party, like Bon Voyage party, where the cameras weren't there. It was just for them. And apparently there was some partying going on. So I'm going to think of 1 or 2 things. Either Emily got shit-faced out of her mind and showed her ass like she did at the bachelorette party. And he was like, what the fuck? But Orion and Emily said, and this is the second time this has been brought up, because last week Claire brought up that off camera, Brennan is toxic. He's mean, he's rude, and he's disrespectful. But when the cameras go on, he's a totally different person. And on this after party, Emily and Orion said the same thing. Like, when the cameras was off, he was just ignorant, rude, disrespectful. And I think if Emily would have showed her ass, Emily would have owned it and said, oh, yeah, I like to drink. I like to twerk. I like to, bust it down because I'm 20-something years old. That's what I do. I've never been in a relationship. So this is what I do. And she didn't say any of that. She was just like, he kind of showed a different side of him. And then now they come home. I think there's an ex involved in this, and I think it's going to show up. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just looking at the way that he literally shut down when they got back, and he's like, I think I'm going to go home because, I got to go to work, and maybe I'll stay here like first thing in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to go to my house and work in my office. And then the way he was just glass-eyed and checked out when Pastor Cal was there, and she's trying, again, like Lauren, a strong, independent, successful woman is now wiping the tears off her eyes because some motherfucking man fucking made her feel some sort of way. Like, am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, No. And I think Pastor Cal should have held his feet to the fire when Pastor Cal was like, can you tell me something about her you don't like?
We know better. He never holds people's feet to the fire. So
But then
we keep talking about in every season, we always say. So we know that he's not going to do that. We know.
But again,
Okay.
how are you going to allow that? I'm not going to be a professional saying, what is it about her you don't like? And be told, I'm going there. No, we're not going to do this. That's exactly what he said. And he said it with his whole chest. No, we're not going to do this. And Pastor Cal didn't say shit, because if I was a professional, I'd be like, oh, we going to do this because you signed up for this. If you don't want to talk about this, then you need to get to gone. You're on the wrong show. You want to travel? He kept saying about, I'm on TV. He's a fucking fraud. He's on TV. If you don't want your business out there like that, then don't be on TV. Don't go and apply and go take these psychological exams and do all this bullshit to be on Married at First Sight if now you worried about how you're going to look on TV. Ridiculous. He's stupid. He's a fucking fraud. He's another one that's on there for clout. And I think there's another woman involved. He might either got reached out by an ex, or he went on that shit to piss off an ex that he wants back. And now that bitch was like, what the fuck? You went and fucking got married on my motherfucking ass? I want you back, baby. I love you. And now he's like, I'm gonna come get you, boo. I'm done.
Okay. Chris, you? Or can I go?
All I was gonna say is I just feel bad for her because she liked him. She really liked him. And she just wanted to feel attracted. And she was willing to do her first relationship and really do it. And she kind of liked him, and he was good looking, and she was really working hard, but he's not in it. So go ahead. I just feel bad for her.
I do too. I felt from the beginning that she seemed much more personable than him, but I think we all were saying that we couldn't read him. So I think what we couldn't read was that layer of toxicity, that layer of meanness, because he gives off a bad vibe. How he would look at her at the very beginning, he seemed very disinterested. He never seemed all in it, from the very beginning. So one of the things that you said, because I didn't watch the interviews with the parents and stuff, when they were doing the selection process, Tanya, you said how he felt his parents' marriage was, right?
Yep.
That has played the key role, in my opinion, in how he treats women. Mm-hmm. Now, it could be just Emily, but I don't think it is. It could be that, he just got turned off or what. I don't think that's it. I think watching his growing up and watching his parents play out their life, he has almost the same thing as Orion, in my opinion, a hatred. Mm-hmm. And how he looked at her, and it kind of showed it to me. And so it could possibly be another woman. It could possibly be that, but I just think that he is a mean person. So he could probably stay with her, but he's never going to change his behavior. He is not nice.
No,
period.
He's not.
No matter what she does, no matter how she tries to appease him, like how Lauren tried to appease Orion, no matter what she does, it's never going to be good enough. And he's going to consistently chip at her to break her down too, which he did. Having her question her attractiveness, and what gets me is how when everybody praised him so much for how he dealt with her when she had the whole hair thing. And I'm like,
I did.
He didn't really do anything.
Huh?
He didn't really do anything.
But everybody was praising him, like, oh my God, he handled it so well. Well, it was a fucking hair thing. And she went to the hairdresser and she got it fixed. I mean, I would have liked it better if he teased her and ribbed her to make her, feel a little bit more. But he never kind of embraced her. He was aloof the whole time. So I didn't understand why people were praising him on that. He's just not nice. He's just not nice.
He's not. And can we just talk about the most awkward home visit ever was between Brennan and Emily when she went to his house, and he just opened the door and he's like, hey. And she's like in there, and she's like, I'm noticing that something in their little confessional. She's like, something is off with him. And he's showing her his house, and she's just like, oh, okay, great. And she just feels wicked. I'm watching it. And I'm like, I'm seeing her confidence going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower.
That's your husband too.
She didn't have the strength to say, what's going on? But I can't judge her for that because she's never been in a real relationship. My black ass, on the other hand, would have been like, if I come into your house and you treat me like that, I'll be like, is everything all right? What's going on? Because I can leave and come back.
I don't think you can use the excuse that she has never been in a relationship because you know how you want to be treated. And you have all kind of mini relationships. And if somebody treats you that way, you know right away that it's off and that person doesn't have it for you. She's giving him grace because she married him.
Yep. It's different work, professional wise as far as personal wise. I agree with you, Shahida. I think she was giving him grace to say, be a man, because he's older than she is. Be the fucking man and say, I'm just feeling some sort of way, like I'm not feeling. Just open up your mouth. He's not saying anything. He wouldn't even admit it to pass the cat.
But that's probably how his mother and father dealt. After the yelling, it probably was like the snubbing, the I'm not gonna say anything, because that's emotional warfare right there when you take away your words.
Yeah, I don't understand if he is not attracted to her. If he's not attracted to her, and Pastor Cal says, "Are you attracted to her?" I'm not going to go there.
We're not.
Even she said, "Well, there's your answer right there by not answering." So I wouldn't understand why you have the therapist there. Say what's on your mind. And you can be nice about it, being like, you know what, I thought I was not attracted to you. I was trying. I really like you as a person. Making her at least feel better, and not being like, I'm not even going to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it.
And she said to him She said to him more than once, you can answer if you're not attracted to me. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Just let me know so that I know. She was the adult. She was the mature one in that situation where she was like, just let me know. So that way.
And the good indication was on the wedding night, she was ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't go.
All day.
So if she was willing to go and he was like, he wasn't attracted to her from the jump. From the jump.
It speaks volumes.
From the jump.
It speaks
because if it was like Chris Williams, if it was the other, Chris Williams with Paige, he slept with her right away, right? She,
2-3 times the first night.
Yeah.
He made that very clear. So, and
would we feel worse about if he had slept with her and then turned around and did this, or should we respect him more for not doing it?
I respect him for. Listen,
I don't respect him at all.
I was gonna say
because you don't treat people like that.
Yeah, I'm not giving no respect. Respect is earned, and I'm not respecting him at all because at the end of the day, open your mouth. Either you're attracted to her and you want to make this work and you're in it for the long haul, or you're going to do an Orion, pussy ass Orion. Sorry, Cheryl, and get the gone. Because we're not doing this. I'm tired of seeing people's emotions being fucked with. And I get it. It's TV and it's entertainment and we're talking about it. But it just disturbs me on a level where you've got these people that are of a certain age that are doing very well for themselves, starting to question themselves because of a stranger. Fuck out of here. Sorry, Cheryl.
All right, who else we got? There's like only one couple. There's like three
well,
couples.
Two more. Well, the two. Listen, let's go to Claire and what's his name? Cameron.
Cameron, yeah.
In this episode, I think they were cute.
You what?
I thought they were cute this episode. I like them. Claire's kind of warming on me. I thought that she was kind of like really scared. I still think she's kind of scared, but I like how Cameron is with her and talking to her, and his little like quips that he does, like his little comedic little sayings that he does. I kind of like Cameron. He's growing on me.
She's still bagging
I
on
will
the
say this: Cameron is packing some junk in the trunk. I don't know, ladies, if you saw what I saw when he had them little boy shorts on, and she's like, wow, they were sitting on the couch, and she's like, wow, I just can't get over how short your shorts are. And he tried to pull them down, and I went right into the middle of them legs, and I was like, ooh,
I totally missed it.
Wants to have some sex. No wonder he's a sexual person, because Cameron was packing some junk. Rewind it, watch it.
I'm still not feeling her 100%. It just is like, and maybe it's because it's her profession. It's a therapist, and she just doesn't seem. What's the word I'm looking for, Chris?
Maybe she's a physical therapist, and is she?
Oh no, yeah. I think she's like a mental health therapist.
She is, and she doesn't seem mature.
Yeah.
There's something missing. There's something missing between her and this profession that she has that she's not bringing into her maturity. You know, so I mean, I don't dislike her. I feel like, you know, she definitely needs to have some growth, and she's another one too, like Claire. She just has not had a real relationship. So
like Emily, yes.
Yeah, and I know how she's like, you know, the whole thing with her family, and you know, they're very close, and I get it. You know, I mean, that's her security blanket, and she needs it because there's something off. There's something off with her.
I need to see more of them. I need to see more interaction with her people.
I don't. I think she needs to step away from her people and grow up.
I agree. And that's why I'm saying I need to see more interaction with her people, because I need to see like when, like next week is the, you know, when the family and friends come over to the housewarmings and all of that. I need to see how she reacts with, I'm going to give her grace because she is a quadruplet who lost her brother. And I just feel like I'm not a twin. I'm not anything. And I'm just like, but I know twins and people that have been like, what is it, quadruplets and triplets and stuff, where it's a whole nother relationship that you have with your siblings. So I'm just trying to see, like, I hope that when her people come to her house and Cameron's house for the housewarming, that it's going to be like her siblings, the remaining siblings, and maybe her mom or something. I need to see how they interact with each other as opposed to how she is on her own. Because I just think there might be a crutch. There might be a little crutch where she's like, I need my family. I need this. These are my people that I was in the womb with these people, and I need these people. Cameron, on the other hand, doing his own thing.
Like she has these passive aggressive jokes.
Yes.
Like, you know how like with the other two, Orion and dude we were just talking about, forgot his name that quick. Brennan, how they have that meanness that's kind of very overt. hers is a little bit low key. So she has a little mean girl quality to
Yeah.
me, but she expresses it in like a very passive, aggressive, ha ha ha, but it's mean.
It's
Like,
judgy.
like about his clothes. Anytime she talks about
Yes.
his clothes, she
Yes.
always.
And let's not talk about the spider traps. She was not happy. Remember, did you miss the
Yeah.
spider traps? When he's like,
Why wouldn't be
she's
happy
like,
about
"What is
spider
that?"
traps either?
Well, I mean, I get
He's
it,
in the
but it's
basement.
the same. Like she was just like, "Oh my god!" And he picked it up. He's like, "Got my little spidey traps," and they're
He's a
like,
weird.
"Oh,
He's a
my
weird
spidey."
dude.
He is.
He's a little bit of a weird dude. A little
He
bit of a weird
is,
dude.
but I kind of like him, and I give Claire credit because she did try that Vegemite, and when I tell you,
Ugh, Vegemite
And
is
that was
nasty.
rude.
ain't no love in this world or
What
no
was
life
what
in
was
this
rude?
world
Yeah.
that's gonna make me
Yeah,
try
what was
your
rude?
Vegemite. Not happening. I smelled it
What was
once,
rude,
and I
Tita?
refuse.
The reaction that she had. I
Have you
get
ever
it.
had
I've
Vegemite?
tasted it. No, I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, I smelled it.
And it's
Mm.
very, very strong. But when somebody loves something and don't taste it, don't like it, but she just kept. I just, you know what it is? It's because I really feel that a lot of her reaction is rooted in some type of meanness. I don't find her to be very nice.
No, I don't think
I
100%
agree with
nice.
you on that. But I ain't shading her and judging her for she
And
tried
it's
that Vegemite. That bitch was a trooper. My black ass ain't. I smelled it. I ain't trying it. I don't give a damn how good a
I've tried
man
it.
you are. That
I
would be like
tried it.
me marrying. That would
try
be
it.
like
I'll
me
eat.
being matched with married at first sight with a black man, and he's like, I love me some
Goodness.
chitlins. You gonna smell? You gonna taste these chitlins? I will not, sir. I don't even want that in my house. Oh, it's your house? Oh, I'm leaving because I smelled it and I ain't tasting that shit. I give her credit. I give her props for that. She tried it.
Yeah, she definitely gets props for trying it. She definitely does because it's the smell alone is enough to be like, no,
Nasty.
thank you.
Yeah.
It amazes me that, but anyway. But yes,
All I'm saying is I can't. I'm looking forward to seeing how they progress. I can't wait for the
I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make it.
At this point, I don't think anybody's gonna make it. Shit.
I think they have a possibility of making it.
They
I
might.
mean, I do. Like I said, I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not a super fan of
I don't think she
his.
likes him. I really don't think she likes him. I think
There's
she's being.
something. Yeah, that could be it. But I kind of think.
Right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I think she's in it, and I think she's doing the thing and trying and doing the way you should be doing the show. Is like, even okay, well, I'm not really, but I'm gonna still stick with it. I'm gonna still give it my all, and I'm gonna still be a relatively nice person as much as I can. But I don't think she's not feeling him. He's too weird. He's too quirky for her, and too tall.
Oh, listen, listen, he's just the wrong shade for me, but I'll take all that tallness right.
How tall is he again? Is he 6'8"?
Like
6'6"?
I think he's like 6'7".
6'7"?
6'7" or 6'8".
I mean, I've dated people that tall. I've dated people that tall.
Well, I'm a tall woman, so I want to listen. He's the kind of man that I can wear all my high heels around, and I already know I'm gonna still be shorter than him. I'm good. It's when I have to wear my high heels, and now I'm towering over you, and as a man, you're feeling some sort of way because I'm the Jolly Green Giant hovering over you, and now you feel emasculated. I'll take it in the black version, though. Anyway, let's go to Claire. I mean, no, not Claire. Becca and Austin. And I was wrong.
Wrong about what?
I thought last week I thought that.
Oh, he was the QAnon.
I thought he was about to sign her ass up and, brainwash her into the QAnon cult. And apparently it was a religion thing.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, because she said she was raised Jewish, but she's, I guess,
agnostic.
agnostic, but she has faith.
Mm-hmm.
And he was raised Christian, and she made it very clear that every Christian that I know has always, and she got emotional about it, as you saw, that every Christian that I know has been like, if you're not Christian and you don't go down this path, when you die, you're going straight to hell. And I like the way that Austin kind of handled it. I'm still kind of on the fence though, but we shall see. He said and Pastor Cal, as we know, Pastor Cal is a Seventh-day Adventist. And he's like, if you're not going to hell, it is what it is. This is your faith, yada, 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 sis, boom, bah. And I think that calmed her. And Austin even said, this is not how I am. Like, okay, I've been around people like that, but this is not how I am. So I believe in love. I come from a faith of love. So I'm just going to sit back and watch how this plays out.
Yeah, I think
it's what Chris said last week.
What did he say last week? Remind me.
That he's probably anti-LGBTQ. Yeah.
Could be.
I think that is going to play into his religion. I think that will probably come out, that because of my religion, he's going to have conservative social issue points where he doesn't believe in certain things. So I think that's where it comes in. I mean, he might be able to be, but he might not be overly religious and be able to get over it. Or she might just be like, which I think she will be like, well, it doesn't really affect us now. But that's how it goes. It's like, you know what? I picked this relationship of this person that loves me over these social issues that don't really affect me. And I think that's how she's gonna go in the end. I hope not. I hope she really stands up for that, but I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I'm with you on that one, Shahida. I think she's going to be so nose wide open because he is giving her everything that she needs, and he's supporting her and all of her, health issues and stuff. He's just being really even keel, and I think I don't think the hammer has dropped yet. I think the hammer is going to drop eventually once he gets really comfortable and thinks that, okay, we good. Now I got to drop this hammer, and I don't think it's going to be pretty. And at this stage of the game, that's why we're not even doing the who do we think is going to survive and our percentages. Fuck the dumb shit. Because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's going to make this shit.
I thought all five had a chance. I honestly thought all five had a chance this year.
The first, I did too. After the wedding, I did.
And I don't think anybody is going to, I don't know. I don't think anyone's. I think Brennan and what's her name? Not Brennan. The Austin and Becca. What's her name? Becca. I think they're the type of couple that's going to do really well. Get married, say yes, and then it's eventually not going to work out because it's going to come across that he didn't want her gay friend to come over. Or she has to photograph a gay wedding.
Ooh.
As Shahida says,
it's a client of mine, and I don't know what the problem is. He's like, yeah, but it's an abomination. That's the way it's going to come out like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, that would be intense.
That would just as good. That shit. That's a hidden gem. Didn't even think about that. That's just as good. That's even better than what I thought about Brennan, thinking that there's some old ex that got into his DMs and now he's not over with, and he's like, maybe I made a mistake. Or maybe
what couple are you talking about? The wrong couple.
You're talking about the wrong couple. I'm talking about Becca.
Becca no, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You're Becca and Austin. I agree that with the whole LGBTQ thing, where he might have an issue with it. And I'm like, that's a hidden gem because it might be like how I'm thinking about Brennan.
What do you think Brennan is going to be like?
No, it has nothing to do with politics or religion. I just think that it's going to come out and it's going to be a shock. Like, oh, Brennan, somebody got into Brennan's DMs that he ain't over. And now he's like, I don't want to be in this marriage anymore. I want to figure out how I need to get old girl back. It's going to be surprising.
We'll see.
We shall see.
But I feel like the whole that wedding thing, that's good because that is big, especially in that area of the country right now, whereas bakers and photographers, choosing not
Colorado.
to.
That was in Colorado.
Yeah. And her saying like, oh, I want to do this. I would be very shocked if he was that adamant though. That would be it. That's a very interesting story.
I'm saying that's the type of thing that would happen, that would pop up in their marriage or whatever. That after a while she'd be like, you know what? I can't do that. Because she can tolerate that.
I don't even think it would be after a while. I would think if she said that she was going to do a job for like an LGBTQ or whatever, and he popped off, I think that would be a deal breaker for her.
I don't think he's gonna pop off though. That's the thing. He's not the type to pop off. He'd be like, oh, I think it's gonna be a thing over time. That's gonna be a subtle thing with him that she's gonna be like, I just can't deal with that anymore. Yeah, because she's gonna try to explain to him, why you have a problem with gay people. Someone's, she's gonna not be able to let go of that, and he's not gonna be like, well, I don't have any problem with them. It's just that that's the type of thing. Yeah. And then after a while, she's gonna be like, I just can't. I mean, I love you, kind of, but I just can't deal with his attitude about, because I have a lot of gay clients and I have a lot of gay friends, and that's the way I feel it would work out.
Yeah.
Or not.
That's good. I mean, we are creating a narrative that we don't know yet, but it's a very, very interesting narrative, and I want to table this episode so that we can come back and be like, if it turns out like that.
So we should almost
think that they will make it to yes.
Yeah, I do too. But we should almost do predictions of like Orion is. Oh, never mind.
Prediction with Orion. I have a prediction that Lifetime is going to bring him back. I will not be surprised if next week's episode there's going to be a little on Ryan.
No.
Orion. They might not be on Lauren because Lauren has checked her ass out. But I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little ditty on Orion. Orion's going to be the new fucking Alyssa, where he's going to meet somebody for lunch or meet a friend and have the conversation, or he's going to meet his sister or his friends or his mama and go to lunch and talk about it.
Maybe.
I hope they don't do that to her, because it would be her. You saw her breakdown, and to really kind of like keep stabbing her in the back and pouring salt on that wound, that would be horrible.
That would be
exactly.
Bad.
That would be bad.
But again, this is television, and we talking about it, and they will do the most for the ratings and the views and people like us that are sitting here yapping about it. And here we are.
Yeah.
Hey, $1. All right, guys. Well, I think we're good. Cheryl?
Yeah.
She was there the whole time.
You stayed the whole time, darling. Thank you. Give a wave to the people.
Very interesting.
Oh, girl.
Now you gotta watch.
I apologize for all of the foul language.
Oh, heavens no. Don't apologize at all. I enjoyed every minute.
Well, I look forward to meeting you when I'm out there in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yes. All right. Very good. All right, guys. It's been real.
Have a good one.